Hello and welcome to this one, a 1v1 game played on Airport Duel between Gucci Gang Hots playing as the first Canadian division, and he's going up against Skill playing as 79Y. So we'll cover the deck reviews, then the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Gucci Gang Hots, and he's playing first Canadian. First Canadian, pretty interesting div, one of the stronger ones, I think. Yeah, we'll go through it tab by tab. First things first, so 2 cards of supply can work, but, if you want to use RT, you're going to run out. Having 4 howitzers in a 1v1 is massive overkill. Either take, yes, that's a 2-point slot. Just looking where that can go. Yeah, either take these, because they're really cheap, or take these. Or you can, upvet and do it like that if you really want. But I think, so for ease of use, so I have been taking these, and it's a total pain in the neck having to micro them all the time. You do save 100 points, but 100 per howitzer, but 200 points over the course of the game. If I could sacrifice 1 minute's income to save me more than 1 minute's micro over the course of the game, I would pay that trade. So I've been running it like this. Also, the mortars should be coming in the armored vehicle, because then they can survive counter battery. You just load them back into this and they'll survive. Whereas if it's in the truck's probably going to explode, and this along with it. So yeah, I prefer the tracked one. And so I've been running it like this, but from now on, I'm actually going to be running it like this, after figuring out that actually this is just like the A2, except it carries fewer rounds. I thought it had less range or something, but I'm used to buying this on other divisions, basically something very similar. So I'm going to be running it like this from now on, but otherwise you would run it like that, in my opinion. And then you can get your 3rd card of supply. How great is that? So yeah, you can do what you want. You can have a helo supply and a big truck supply and a small truck supply. I think that's what I do. Or you can run, 10 billion small truck supply. I play this div a lot now. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so I only run 2 cards of supply in the 1v1 deck, and in the 2v2 deck I run 3 cards of supply because I'm going to be RTing more. And you see I've got the upvetted RT there, and here I've still got the howitzers. So yeah, you can get away with 2 cards of supply now, if you've only got, 2 howitzers. And then those 2 points, they can go into the recon tab, for example. It's probably the only place you can actually put them. So yeah, CVs, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is a lot of CVs. You've got wheeled CVs here in the form of this reserve leader, 3 per card. So I would swap this out for the Queen Mary CV, because you can literally buy both of these at the start of the game for the price of one of these. So on a map like Urban Frontlines Duel or Black Forest, you can just get the 2 CVs out at the start without compromising anything else in your deployment. It's very important. Infantry, so yeah, I would go for this CV. 8 guys, 3 availability. It is reservist, but who cares? It's got an 80, so that's all good if a vehicle runs up to it. You can get these as well, and then you would have 6 CVs instead. Like, this isn't a bad take. They are 11 guys, right? And they've got smoke and AT. But then you'd have 6 CVs down from, 7 and formerly 8. So, yeah. These guys, sort of like a halfway house, with there's still 2 availability, but they've got only 6 strength, and they cost less, right? And you can bring them in the Grizzly, which is a nice transport. The Pioneer Leader, I don't know why anybody would bring this. 2 availability, no AT, no smoke, only 5 strength, 40 points. So yeah, I don't think that's such a fab idea, frankly. Then yeah, the M113A1s for 20 points, I don't really like them. You can bring them if you want. The Grizzly for 30 is really good. It's just these infantry squads are kind of pants. They just don't have a lot of... like, the Eric's is a must-bring, but these two, they just don't have a lot of strength. And you know, for 20 points more, you get the mech rifles, who... For 20 points more, you get the mech rifles, right? And they have 3 machine guns, which is so useful. So... Yeah, oh yeah, you're missing some infantry here, I think. Might run out of infantry. Yeah, might run out of infantry. So mech CP escort is like you gotta bring it. It's such a good set of guys. Sadly, 2 SMGs, which do reduce the long range shooty power of the unit. You know, to 10 instead of 12. But they got a Carl Gustav and 11 strength for 60 points. I personally bring them in the truck. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with bringing them in this, I guess. The motorized rifles, Eric's at 1 vet in the Grizzly. This is a must-bring as well. The Eric's missile, 26 AP with 1050 meters range. Very good. Very, very good. And then the reserve... Yeah, I bring these as well. This costs the same as a regular M113A1, except it's got less DPS because less accuracy, and it's reservist. But yeah, the reserve themselves are a nice squad. You know, they just meet for the machine, basically. They got 2 of the best MG in the game, 10 guys, 40 points with AT. But yeah, I bring them in the truck as well. And then tank hunters I do bring, and the reason for that was because... So if you compare tank hunters to... So if you compare Mott rifles to Mott rifles Carl Gustav, you're losing 1 shooty power in exchange for a Carl Gustav, because a machine gun is like 2 shooty power, but you lose 1 rifle, right? But then if you compare Mott rifles Carl Gustav to the tank hunters have 1 more availability. They do lose some shooty power with SMGs, so yeah, it's difficult because the Grizzly is such a good unit, and you do want a lot of Grizzlies, but I do like the tank hunters just for sending around the sides. I keep them in the Cook V because you know, it's got 8 HP and so on, but they're gonna see you coming basically most of the time. I guess if you use it properly, they wouldn't. And if you put it right on the edge of the map, yeah, you could probably sneak some guys around. So maybe it's a good idea to have it in this. Maybe I should try that. I've been running them in the Cook V. Pioneers, yeah, so 50 points. Satchels run up to people. The Dozer for the same price gets 1 more armor, so that's worth bringing, I suppose. I think I just bring these guys in the trucks as well, because you don't really need these if you have Leopard ones, but they can be useful, I guess. It's just I like the Grizzlies, but I don't know. I do bring a lot of M113s on like 8th Infantry. I think I would just bring mine in the truck, but yeah, this can work. And then a TOW 2. Might find yourself running out of infantry. The mech rifles C6 have 3 machine guns, so that's 6 plus 5 shooty power. It's 11 shooty power. I think it's a nice squad, so I do bring those. I think I bring those in the truck as well. I don't find myself running out of infantry very often with this div, but if I play on urban frontlines in a 40-minute game, I do. And so I think you would, especially if you don't bring this, right? RT we spoke about. Tank tab, so this is fairly straightforward. You bring all the Leopard C1s. They got the max range gun. You know, it's just a standard Leopard 1. There's loads of them now. I don't have to explain that to you. Then, you want the ITO Jeep because it's got good stealth. Whereas these, I mean, sure, it is a TOW 2, and it has smoke. It's weird how this has the 50 cal, and this just has an MMG. Because it's, like, boxed onto that, apparently. Interesting. So, yeah, this is not a bad unit. Actually, I should probably start bringing it, trying to work it in. Because, I literally just bring this. And I found that I was having problems in team games like Airport and stuff. This is good because of the good stealth, and it's fast, so it can get places. It's just slower, but it's got a TOW 2, and you know, 1 armor and smoke is not so bad. Mediocre stealth's not so bad. It'd be nicer if it had 2 armor, but it doesn't. It has 1 armor. Apparently this tire on the front doesn't give you additional armor. So it's one of these, isn't it? So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Recon, so at the start you've got no airborne forward deployment. So I think you should be bringing these guys in trucks, because a recon deployed helicopter can get to some good places, but like otherwise your opener's kind of ass. So I would be bringing this in a truck, because like if you bring this and then what, you're going to cover it with a 265 point plane, and then you're just going to die in my opinion. So I think this should come in a truck so you don't lose too much ground at the start and at one vet so you can fight. The GSR guys, yeah, it's just 40 points for GSR. Yeah, you can bring them at no vet so you can get as many of them out as possible. This thing's good to put with your tanks, gives your tanks very good optics, because this is only good optics. And this drone's absolutely absurd. So it's got 50% hidden evasion, which is like ECM but better. And it can't be targeted by radar, and this one goes super fast. So the short range stuff can barely hit it. So yeah, these are a must bring. And then I like having the recon helo as well. I like bringing this one, but he's gone for I think one more plane than me maybe, or maybe it's because I don't bring this. But yeah, it can be nice to bring the recon helo, but you can make do with the drone, just having the drone. AA. So, ADATs, yes, I bring 6 as well. This is the crowning achievement of the division. It's got 25 pen, 6 HE against planes. It is radar, so you get messed up if your enemy seeds properly, because you got to leave it on to shoot the ground targets, and then the seed kills you, so yeah, I bring 6 as well. And then the Skyguard in my 1v1 deck, I bring it in team games, I don't bother. And that's nice, it's just spag, right? And you can carry it around in the truck. It's good against infantry. Blowpipes. Somebody made a claim that you can do this, and then the blowpipe will have. And it's like 2 of these is more cost effective than 1 of these because of the statistics. It's not worth it. Just bring the javelins at 1 vet. The only advantage of the blowpipe would be bringing it in the Cook V blowpipe, because that gives you another blowpipe, because then, yeah, so you basically get 2 of these for 35, 2 blowpipes for 35 points, and, 40% plus 40% is 80% or whatever, which is higher than 60%. So maybe there's a case to be made for that. It's worth trying, but I certainly would not be bringing it in the regular car, otherwise there's no point in this at all. And I'd just be bringing the Javelin otherwise, and the regular car goes way faster than the Cook V, so I'm not sure why it's actually an option. Sadly, the LML isn't mounted on the Cook V, and the Javelin isn't mounted on the Cook V. I think there's a big missed opportunity there. Could have also had M113 LML blowpipe, right? I mean, it looks the same. Maybe that's not possible, but certainly could have put an LML on this, or a single Javelin on this, and had it on the Javelin unit. Would really make Canada's motorized option much better. Because that's the issue, right? These are tracked, so they can't, and this is wheeled, but it's 90 kilometers an hour. So if you actually want to do cool motorized pushes, you kind of do have to bring this. Because this goes at 100 and nothing else does, right? Or you bring these guys in the car and unload them. But yeah, maybe there's a case to be made, statistically speaking. Because if you bring this in a car, that's 50 points. Whereas this is 35. I mean, I've just lost some accuracy there. Maybe there's a case to be made for this. Anyway, helicopters. These things are really good against light armored vehicles. But against heavy armor, they just don't shoot. So I was playing against Skate on, he plays 3rd Armoured, literally exclusively, for now anyway, on Urban Frontlines, and he was moving these M1A1HAs towards me, and I couldn't shoot them. So that's where this comes in, because it can still fire. Air tab, so in 1v1s I just bring 2 of these, but in team games, yeah, 4 of them's useful. This is good at the start. this has the same rockets. So basically, the idea is if you come in on the side of the tank, you can kill it, or if you come in behind the tank, you can kill it, and you have 40% ECM, so it can be done. I personally just prefer the cluster for 40 points more. You're gonna just kill him the regular way. So I prefer the cluster. And then what's going on here? Oh, I see. So I actually do, yeah, so this is the HE one, right? It's nice, because the issue with the cluster is it's got a long reload. I would argue that your main concern in this game is like tanks. And yeah, the electric voodoo doesn't carry a seed missile in this, unlike in Red Dragon. But it is ECM, so it can be useful just to send ahead of your bombers. I'm still working on that. But basically in the 1v1, because you've got 6 ADATs. So if you're careful with your fighters, you shouldn't need 4, right? I mean, sometimes you do, but look, this is also a fighter. This is also a fighter. This is also a fighter. They've got 40% ECM on the F-18s, right? This is, only 10%, but if you need to kill healers, you can use this. So I actually run it like that. And I use this at the start. And this would be for 1v1, right? I use this at the start, but it's the main. So this isn't actually that good. The main advantage is it reloads really quickly. If you shoot all 8 of these at a moving transport, it doesn't actually kill it. You need 2. So, but they reload super fast and it's dead cheap, and you can buy 2. You can buy 5 if you want. But yeah, I prefer these because like they're really good. They're the same thing that the Dutch get, and it reloads in 1 minute, and it's got 1,000 kilos payload, more or less, like 900, I guess. This one doesn't one-tap heavy tanks, but it reloads in a minute. That's the advantage. You put the voodoo out in front of it to soak. So that's it for Canada. There's other ways to build it, right? Switching to his opponent, we've got somebody called Skill, and he's playing 79Y. 79Y is a pretty, normal div. It's very strong. Well, okay, it's strong. So we'll go through this tab by tab. Basically, Soviet heavy tank div, you want a nice long game, so 3 cards of supply makes sense. These cheap CVs, it's like the one on the other side, the Queen Mary one. So 2, 4, 6, that's a decent amount of CVs, right? The issue, of course, is that if you get this, it's faster, but you're going to be behind anyway as this div. The point of this div is you want a really long game, so it doesn't really matter if you're a little bit behind on the wheeled things. In general, I've been sort of moving away from that idea because it's like, depending on the maps and how many CVs you buy, well, what do you get out of 25 points? I do it on a case-by-case basis. This div is slow. Just buy 2 of these at the start and accept that you are slow. Infantry, so yeah, lots of BMP2s. I could have sworn this div got BMP2Ds. It does. So the whole point of this unit is that this is what you bring the BMP2s in. Because you get the one with more side armor. And it costs 5 points less. So that's kind of the whole point of that. But you only get 1 card of them. So you want this. And you buy these ones first because it's a better BMP2. It's just you lose the amphibious, who nobody cares, and you lose the RPG. RPG gets worse. Oh, this is where well, yeah, what's going on there, man? He's done this completely the wrong way around. So, yeah, those are the BMP2D ones, right? I was going to say, I could have sworn there were 2 cards. And then, if you want infantry and trucks to do stuff, right, you bring the guys with the better RPG. Because why would you want infantry and trucks with not a good RPG compared to, so there you go. You do it that way around. And then, yeah, you can bring more BMP2s, or you can bring the BMP 1PG, or so like you lose smoke in exchange for a grenade launcher. It is actually pretty decent. I don't like the unspeakable one at all. I think paying 15 points more for 3 more pen, more range, and therefore more accuracy and more suppression, I think is well worth it. And then I always get into this debate about... Right, well that's weird. I always get into this debate about Saperi versus Saperi RPO. Saperi RPO are actually pretty decent. So you can bring either one. Generally, you would... This is really weird. It's 2.0. generally you would bring the RPOs in the BTR-60 at 1 vet and just make sure, or you bring them at no vet and make sure there's always an infantry unit in front of them. But you can't really go wrong with having 4 Saperi RPOs with BTR-60s if you get the satchels in somewhere else. Like, either one can work, right? I mean, you are paying 10 points more, but this is useful if you can micro it. I used to be really against them. Stuff like the hand flam patron is not very good, but if your micro's on point, you can use these squads very well. Not having the grenade launcher's a bit rough. So, like, you've got some IFVs, maybe you could... Well, I don't know. Artillery, yeah, so Acacias and mortars for smoke. Mortars in the tracked one, so it doesn't get hit by counter battery. Tank tab, so... Okay, so... CV tanks, yeah, you sort of missed a bit here. So, the TO-55 is really good at the start of the game. You just bring a 2-vet, and you just buy him near the start. So good, right? So get rid of that and put this in. And, now you've got fewer T80 BVs. Well, you just down vet these, and, well, I just gave you 2 more, right? Now, I would actually go a step further, and, well, that's a 3-point slot, though. Yeah, I would actually go a step further and remove another card of T80 BVs. So, in essence there, you've only lost 2 T80 BVs for what I've done there, because I down-vetted these, right? Auto-loaders don't... The rate of fire doesn't go up. So, the jump from no vet to 1-vet is massive. The jump from 1-vet to 2-vet is not actually that big. In terms of suppression resistance and usefulness and so on. So you've lost 2 T80 BVs, right? Also, the AA, right? Just down-vet that. Get rid of that. You got 1 more point now. Now you got 3 points. And now you can bring this, which you do need for your tanks. Because now your tanks will have exceptional optics and a spare smoke if you need it. Right? This goes with your tanks, so your tanks can actually see. Alternatively, you can use this one. But it's only got very good optics. It doesn't have the smoke, doesn't have the armor, so it'll die in 1 hit in these tank engagements. Whereas this is so useful for your tanks. Motorized Razvedka, I'd be bringing them in the Razvedka BMP2. It's just way better. Does make it a lot more expensive. Well, it's up to you, really. I personally would be bringing it in the BMP2. But, yeah, the 1P... Because the idea is mediocre stealth with Conkers and autocannon is pretty absurd. Because of the way... Like, if you've not got recon looking at this... It can just shoot you from a forest constantly, and you'll never see it. You'll never be able to reply to it without recon. So it's well worth having. And then, yeah, so, like, this is decent as, like, cheap recon-ish for 65 points. But for 85, you can get Razvedka Saperi if you want those satchels that you've just lost. But yeah, this can work. And you bring it at Novex, you just want it for the recon. Spetsnaz Gru, this is your opener because they have airborne forward deployment. So that's useful. It is a 90 kilometers an hour transport, not a 101. Something to keep in mind. Spoke about this. Losing 2 Cubs for 5% accuracy doesn't make any sense, basically. Don't do that. Helis, so the Rocket 2 is the best one, and that's not here. And so you can either pay... You can pay 20 points more for a better gun and 10% ECM. And twice the rockets. It's probably worth it, actually. I prefer the 155.01 with the nice big rockets, but it's not here. And then the Rocket 3s. So what is this, a 2-point slot? Okay. Because, like, isn't there something you could... Because, yeah, if you, like, really want loads of rocket helos, you can, like, bring it in this at Nova and get 6 rocket helos. It's up to you, really. It's a 2-point slot. Yeah, it's probably best like that, to be honest. Because this is better than the rocket one. Because the rockets are bigger. Air, so... You can get away with not bringing one of these. Because it's just, you don't have a lot of hit. Typically people will bring 2 cards of planes. Like, what happens if you run into a healer that you need to kill? This can be useful for that. Or this for additional planeage, right? This thing, it is good against armoured breakthroughs, but like, when does that happen in 1v1? I don't know. I personally would sacrifice on the tanks and on the recon to bring another plane here. And that would just be 2 more fighters. But if you've got 4 Cubs, 5 Strellas, and 6 Iglas, you should be fine. So, yeah, maybe 2 Jets is fine. This thing is really good, because even though this has less range, it's fire and forget. So it will get 2 of these off before the merge. So it gets 3 missiles off before the merge, so it's actually pretty good. This is good against armoured breakthroughs. And then this is good at the start, because you basically just buy a recon helo, buy this, buy one of these, and you just kill the entire enemy's deployment. It's very funny. This can be good against helos and stuff. Like, you can build this as a bit more air spam. You can fill these 2 out, but it is expensive. You'd have to lose a lot in terms of your ground game to do that. So that's it for the deck reviews. Then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk a bit about the map. Airborne Airport, even. One of the more balanced maps in the game. Basically, I prefer the blue side because Alpha's easier to defend than Papa. And Echo's easier to defend in general than Foxtrot. But at the start, Red has the ability to airborne deploy Rush Echo in a way that Blue cannot airborne deploy Rush Foxtrot. In the same vein, because there's a big open field here, whereas Red's approach is covered by these buildings, and they can get in before Blue gets to about here to shoot them with anything significant. Well, Blue will meet them at about here in the zone, whereas Red will get to here before Blue does. So the map is relatively balanced, actually. In terms of the matchups, Canada's one of the newer divs on the scene, so I haven't seen this specific, first Canadian versus 79Y matchup before. But what you'd expect to happen is Canada should win sort of in the early to mid game with the Leopard 1s and so on. And then 79Y should win in the late game with the T8BB spam, essentially. And the Cubs should slowly whittle away the Canadian air. That's kind of the idea. I mean, we'll see what actually happens, right? I haven't seen the game. But in general, as you know from the deck review, Skill didn't bring the TO55s on 79Y, and he didn't bring the Razvedka VMP2s on 79Y, so, he's missing 2 of his good mid-game tricks there, and he's bringing the BMP2s with the wrong infantry instead of the cheaper BMP2Ds, because the infantry's cheaper, and the BMP2D's better, so some mistakes in the deck creation, in my opinion. But I lose whenever I play 79Y, so yeah. Looking at the deployments, we got Skill here, and he has airborne forward deployment, and Blue doesn't have any airborne forward deployment, it's all recon forward deployment. So if Red knew that, he could get to here before Blue does, 100%. But he is not knowing of that, apparently. So he's going here because Communists can see further than Atheists. As you can see, Atheists can't see very far, but Communists can see pretty far. So that'll be able to give him good vision there, and then he's going to this. He's going to the wrong building there, but the airport control tower lets you see pretty far as well because airport controllers can see further than Atheists. You see, Atheists can't see very far, but airport controllers. Anybody joining the channel these days and doesn't know the deepest lore between why I say all these things must think I'm a complete crackpot. But anyway, got some cheapo recon going all the way around here. I mean, you could just go the normal way at the start. I guess he doesn't want people to know that he's there. In that case, why not go for this one? Then we've got 2 Iglas, one for left, one for right. So this is so the original thing before all these commie blocks got added to the game and stuff was that religious people can see further than atheists. So the church gives you higher line of sight than normal buildings because it's higher, because it's closer to God, right? But he's putting the Igla in the wrong building. It should be in the church. And then this one is actually going for the right building. And then, yeah, Moto Strelky RPG 22 and the Unspeakable one. MTLB for Papa. And then on the right, we got another Spetsnaz Gru, but he's not going to the edge of Foxtrot. Razvedka for here, and then he's sending the car all the way around, which is interesting. But yeah, this should be going to here. Because otherwise, what if the enemy comes down here, right? Which it's not actually doing, but you might. 3 BMP2s, a T-80B, 2 Strela 10Ms, and the cheap CV for Bravo, and then presumably Foxtrot. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Gucci Gang Hots playing 1st Canadian. And he brings his recon mech rifle, recon, whatever it's called. He brings them in helicopters, which leads to deployments like this one, where your shooty power at the start's very, very low, because you're using these 3-man teams. But because of the way Red's deployed, very conservatively, given his comparative advantage, although you would have to cover it with a plane, because the Canadian guys like opening with those cheap rocket planes. Yeah, so GSR going to here, ground surveillance straight up for here, 1 for mid, and he will get there first because his opponent's not contesting him, 1 for this, and 1 for here, so yeah, and then 3 reservists, a Skyguard for mid, a TOW 2, 2 Leopard 1s, and an ADAT. So he wants to attack Foxtrot at the start, but coincidentally that's actually where skill's going. Then we have a CV for well, I guess he's on the wrong road, right? Should be on this road, but yeah, that's going for mid, and then there's another CV for Alpha Zulu and a TOW 2 going to here, and then presumably you'd move it to the other building. But yeah, if they're coming down this road, you can still hit them from here. And yeah, 2 more Leopards for Zulu, or 1 for Zulu and 1 for Echo. So yeah, interesting deployments all around. Now let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 a week, so there's over 70 of those now. One joined at the lowest levels with 2,000 views in ad revenue equivalents, so it's a great way to support the channel. The best way to support it at the moment, I'd say. Obviously, I appreciate, not everybody can give. Times are hard for all of us. They're especially hard for me, though. But no, not really. So yeah, please just like the video. That's free. And thanks for watching the video. That also helps me out. At the highest tier, you get your games cast at a rate of 1 per calendar month. So if you want to learn a lot of Warno, get your games cast, your deck reviews covered, right? Or maybe you just beat somebody you really didn't like, right? That's part of my business model. I don't know if that's the case for this game. I don't think it is, but I have had people take out memberships just because they beat somebody they didn't like, and then their opponent will do the same. Yes. Anyway, as you saw from these deployments, Skill could have got here before Gucci Gang did. He just chose not to, basically. So a lot of it just comes down to knowledge, and you can get that knowledge by watching these videos, but I suppose that's why you're watching it anyway. I am rank 1 at the moment, right? We'll see how long that stays for. But also just by playing, right? Canada just came out, so not everybody knows that Canada does not have any airborne forward deployment. In fact, most of the South actives don't have any airborne forward deployment. That was basically a design crutch that they used to use. So, yeah. So he does manage to unload the Skyguard in time. He does lose the transport, though. And here we go, Leopard 1's chiming in. And the Unspeakable 1 shoots. So big early attack here from Gucci Gang. He's unloaded the reserves to just take the hits while everybody else gets in position. He really needs a supply. Look at that. So side shot there on the T-80B. You'll note he's actually turned off the ATGM so that his tank will automatically move into gun range. And look at how fast that ADATS missile goes. You saw all those missiles, right? TOW 2 conquers, and then ADATS nyom straight into him. So this is a very important part of the strategy. And yeah, this seems to be working out for Gucci Gang. So yeah, you would expect the Leopard 1s to do well at the start, simply because, you can buy 2 of these for less than the price of this. You can buy 2 of these in a supply for less than the price of this, and that is frankly what Gucci Gang is missing here. And look, here it comes in. So that's good for him. And yeah, the Skyguard's good against infantry. This can't actually shoot it. And yeah, the Leopard 1's taking names here. And Skill, he didn't bring the TO-55s. Which on this map are kind of hard to use because the Leopard C1s do outrange you, and there's nice open fields here. AT plane, so this is the one with these funny rockets, right? And you see that it is actually really good at killing anything without high armor, but if it tried to shoot this from the front, it wouldn't actually be able to do it. And that 40% ECM lets it get out there. So yeah, good at sniping AA, I suppose. I do personally prefer the cluster simply because I don't know who I'm going to face in ranked. And if it ends up being Skate on 3rd Armoured, I want the plane that can actually kill him, as opposed to the one that can't. But yeah, that AT plane with the rockets, it is pretty cool. And these HE planes, it's got 60-second cooldown, so lots and lots of momentum here for the 1st Canadian, and you'd expect that. It's more of a light, scrappy div, T-70, whereas the good triple kill there because of the splash there, so that's why you don't clump up that much, right? So instead of all these Strela 10Ms and stuff, you just should have bought 2 cubs at the start against Canada. Just buy 2 cubs at the start, put them here, and then you start killing their stuff as it comes in. So Blue, he's not managed to get the CV up here. He could try it, load this back up, bring it in, right? You've got guys here, you've got, recon and so on. You should be all good. I do think Red has the right idea of buying the arty eventually because, he needs to start picking apart these targets. But he's not doing so well here. And if he had bought those TO-55s, if he had brought those TO-55s, this wouldn't have happened. Or this would have gone quite badly because, obviously, yeah, the Leopard C1 outranges you, the ADATS outranges you, so you just hide behind this. Or better yet, you put it here. So this is a great place to put the T-80B instead of marching over here and getting side shot. Right, so look at this. So he's on the side armor. Oh, he's on the side armor there. If he was on the front armor, it wouldn't have done it. It wouldn't have even shot, but because it was on the side armor, it got him. But anyway, say you're on red side. This is a good learning tip for you. Enemies coming across this field. You put your tank there. Right? The guys in this bush can't shoot you. Anybody, right? And then the infantry come in and you start whacking them, right? And then you should have another one, like a BMP-2 or whatever, back here. Or, a tank here or a BMP-2 here. Something here. Like, it could be an ATGM or what have you. And so as they come over, the tanks are going this way. You shooting them. And then you start shooting them in the side. And then they die to side shots. So this is a very, very useful building. Share this knowledge with you for free. I literally give away my competitive advantage every day on this channel. I was, so M109A1's coming out there. I was in a tournament, and I had played a 2v2 tournament the previous day. This is all on the channel, you just press the live tab, because I live streamed it. And look, if that T-80B was there, even with the ATGM switched on, he'd be rocking it now, but, he's not. And here's these mech reckies, they're called, apparently. And yeah, the first day I was on Chandra and I was like, oh, I'll just do this. And I snuck some guys around the side. And then the second day I was back on Chandra against a different team and I did it. And there were guys there waiting for me. And it was because they probably just saw it. They probably just saw what I did yesterday. It does keep things interesting. I mean, the way I see it, the benefits of being a good person outweigh like hoarding your knowledge and stuff in a video game. So get over yourself, basically. Anyway, see the advantage of this position here, right? The ADATs can't shoot you if you're here. But yeah, if you're red, great idea would be to arty this. Arty this area, and you will hit the ADATs. At least make it go away for a bit. So Blue, as you know from the deck review, has chosen to bring 4 arty pieces with 2 cards of supply, which is not ideal. And look at that. So the T-80Bs, when they get into action, the Leopard 1 can't compete. Right? Now that there's 2 of them, you need 4 Leopard 1s. So the Electric Voodoo is there to draw the ire of the opponent, but guess what? It's behind the AT plane. But the advantage of the Voodoo is this big circle here, and what that does is it lowers the accuracy of the Cubs by 20%. And so this already has 40% ECM, and so the Cubs all miss, and then he kills it with the AT plane. The issue you've got is that the Voodoo's slightly slower than the other plane, as you saw there. So it could have got a little. I mean, none of the planes died. It was good, right? And the Voodoo did its job in lowering the things, and Gucci Gang correctly aimed for the AA. You have to focus the AA, because if you focus the AA, for starters, your opponent has to immediately buy more AA, because he doesn't want it to happen again in a couple minutes when you get it back. There you go, rounds on the ADAS. Is it reacting? It is not. It's quite a slow vehicle as well, so it might just die here. Probably won't, actually. Yeah, he's getting out of dodge there. Anyway, this is actually not hidden. He needs to... If this wasn't reversed... Oh, no. Yeah, look at that. So he needed to be behind this, but... He drove into the... Yeah, anyway. So he's going to have to buy another CV now. Anyway, they will immediately buy more AA, right? And it means that your planes don't die as much, because if they kill the AA, then that AA doesn't shoot you on your way out of the AO. That is the area of operation, so I'm so intelligent. Anyway, it's going really well for Blue. He's still on this +2. The mech Reki's moving up here. This thing should probably just smoke and run away, or it's going to die. So I got 1 armor, so yeah, the auto cannon takes it out there. He does need some recon for this Leopard 1. I suppose he's got this reserve here and this recon here, but what you want is that that cheap mechanized thing. It's called a Lynx. I do like this play from skill, though. He's got his stuff around the sides, and so like, if you get this to, you know, about here or whatever, you know, nobody's really going to be seeing you coming in. And you will see the enemy planes as soon as they spawn from here. So you get early access to plane knowledge. But yeah, so far so good for Blue, although you'll note that, you know, whenever he engages these T-80s, especially these T-80 BVs, is whatever, it's gonna win, because it costs more than twice the price. And so this took 1 damage, and the Leopard 1 took, you know, more than half its damage. So, yeah, it's kind of going in the way you might expect, where as Red gets more of these tanks online, you know, he's still got a good chance here. He just needs to get a smoke mortar on the go, and basically, if you're Red, you really want to take this. And if you're Blue, you really want to take this as well, because if Red has this, then he can shoot, you can't really reinforce so easily. You can still come down here, but, you know, Red has this, and he should put an ATGM in here, really, would be useful. Especially given that he's got the cheap ones. Here we go, Eric's missile, 26 pen, and, oh, it missed, because it's only got half accuracy, because he lost some cohesion. Uh-oh, this doesn't have recon. Is it going to see him in time? Adax gets it with a side shot, 25 pen side shot, down he goes. So, yeah, it's, for Red, he needs to invest in some smoke mortaring, in my humble opinion. And he needs to sort this out. And it's smart for Blue to have done what he's... Is that just stuck like that now? Huh, this is not... This not used to happen. That must be a new bug. Might be one of these down here. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, this can hide behind here. But you'll note that, you know, Red, he is slowly pulling this back. I wish... How do I get rid of this? This is that mechanized thing I was telling you about. How have I managed this, man? There must be something I've done there to make that just stay there forever. As you can see, you can read it quite well. Yeah, so if you're Blue in this situation, you actually want to... Because you've got this up to here, you want to get, you know... The ADATS is in a pretty good spot, right? But you want to get a couple tanks here, and, you know, a bit of AA. And you want to zoom into here and take this. Get the CV in. But, you know, the T-80 BVs will reposition and kind of kill you, so you got to watch out. But generally, Blue is about, you know, Canada's about the mobility. It's weird because it's got a strong mechanized component to it with all the M113s and the Leopard 1s. But it's also motorized. There you go, there's the Eric's. It missed again? Blimey, he's getting lucky here. That would have one-shot that. It's got 26 pen. You need 20 to one-shot on the 6 side armor. It missed again! What? Mr. Chagnon here. Letting the side down. He's bought a replacement for him. Guy's clearly not doing his job. But yeah, the smoke is very useful for blocking off the tanks, basically, allowing you to move up. Because otherwise, how do you resupply this? And yeah, the idea is if blue needs to sort of move around a lot, because if 79 white just keeps churning into you, you're gonna lose, right? There's enough here now that if like you'll note that there's no recon. Okay, it's not enough recon. He doesn't bring the BRDM-1 for his tanks, so his tanks can't see anything. It's a big shame. I suppose this is here, but yeah, like red has enough to take this back. He just doesn't know it yet, and then it's stuff like this just shooting down there. So actually this smoke doesn't help him much because it cuts off his own ADATs. But it does allow these to move up, so swings and roundabouts. Okay, so skills like, ooh, he's probably in here, maybe. Which he should be, but he is not. And yeah, the Acacias should be shooting constantly. This should be next to the Acacias. You just put it on one of them and keep them near each other. The Mott Rifles, Erics, the whole point of them is the Erics. If they're caught in a fight against a regular squad, because they've not got a machine gun or anything, they will just lose. This has been left on. 79 wide does get seed, but a lot of people don't bring it because you don't get that many. You get very not great availability in the air tab. You saw that, right? So there you go. Skill. He's making sure nobody sneaks through here. ADATS gets killed, so that is the issue with getting into tank gun range there. The ADATS has bad stealth. He could have. I don't know what he could have done there. You just got to be like that is a strat. You pop your tank smoke and then you just go straight through it and shoot him. Like you saw that, right? And he's like cycling them quite well. This skill guy's pretty skilled actually. He seems to know what he's doing. But he does have to turn this around, and he's not doing it. He might get another ADATS here, especially if he uses both of these. Yeah, he should get it. And yeah, if you're blue, you want to get like, infantry behind this building, infantry behind this building. You want to sort this out. Try and get some guys in here. And you just try to hang on for as long as you can. Eventually, whoa, that could have smoked, I suppose. That was less than stellar. And yeah, like an Eric's to here would be super great. Because like, at this range he can't shoot, but if he gets up to here he can shoot. The ADAS is probably dead, and this is the issue with Canada, is keeping these alive, because they're 200 points, and he's not even trying to save it. I guess you'd have to go forwards in that case. You've got smoke, because if you go backwards you're reversing into rough terrain, and it makes you go really slowly and you die. So forward would have been best. But yeah, the issue is not losing. If you lose too many of those, you have a really rough time. So skill, I don't think he's moved, and you see he knows that, I got the ADATS there, so I should be alright, but these Sky Guards are still up, and he must have known about this one, because he's been shooting at it, so that actually goes down really, like, these are just, it's just a Gepard, it's a Gepard gun, it's a Gepard gun, so you gotta respect this, don't fly over it. Hit it with your arty, right, it's not moving very fast, you could basically get it, just aim here, you'll get it. So this isn't moving in between shots, so that's probably going to die as well. Always queue up those move orders. He's told it to turn all the way around. Now he's telling it to fast move that way, which means it's going to keep turning. It's just going to keep turning. Yeah, he could have saved it there. All he had to do is see which direction it was currently pointing in and just move it that way. And then it wouldn't have had to turn on the spot like that. But people panic. They make mistakes. So 210 point artillery down there. 200 point ADATS down here, 200 point ADATS down here. It all starts adding up for red, right? Tow Cobra, I guess, is just going to land and get some repairs, and if the enemy comes in, he can actually shoot his stuff on the ground. Okay, I guess he wants to hide a bit. So, yeah, if you're blue, you gotta... You gotta, I mean, the idea is the 2,800 meters give you the, it's actually this line here, give you the range, so you don't want to smoke. But if you're getting shot here, like you can smoke here, for example, or something like that. Or what you do is you just turn off cover on these units, and you just, like, he's just done it, actually. You just saw that change, and then you just press E, and then it stays there. So, AT back, the Voodoo was too far behind, because it is slower. And, yeah, good plays there. Is he going for the Cubs? He is! Really good idea. So he gets the Cub, and he gets a rudder damage crit there, and you see the Voodoo doing its job. Doesn't even lose this one. Did that already drop its payload? It did, so why is it going back in? So yeah, really good airwaves there from Gucci Gang. And oh, he might get this as well. Gets another Cub. Really, really good airplay. Really good airplay. And this is why typically, as I said in the deck review, 79 wide players tend to bring 2 cards of ASFs. And this is why you don't upvet your Cubs. So he does lose an AT plane there to that MiG-29. And now like Gucci Gang needs to move all his ADATs. So that rocket plane, I guess, makes a lot of sense for just sniping AA. And yeah, using the Voodoo quite well. But you'll note that like it's slower, so you've actually got to send it out pretty far in front. And this didn't have a target there. Katsuya's going on that ADATs because he didn't move the ADATs, and these are 200 points each. You really got to babysit them. So yeah, okay, so he's reversing now, but going forwards would be the best strat here because this is rough terrain. So you're going at like half speed or something like that, 2/3 speed maybe. He does actually make it though. Oh no, he doesn't. No, he does. Okay. This is coming around. So yeah, what you can do is go on the RT with the bomber. That's always a good laugh. But he did actually move. So this is probably going to die here. Although, no, this is out of rounds. But in the meantime, red outflanking blue here. She's not, you know, it's always a possibility. And look at that. The ADAT's just flying in there, killing all these tanks. And yeah, you'd expect blue to respond quite quickly to this. But look, the KPVTs, they've closed the gap. And they might get this arty piece here. Although this does have a 50... In fact, this should win. It's got more armor. Has he noticed, though? Has he noticed? And, yeah, the ADATs... Okay. Yeah, good play from red here. Voodoo's back, but all the Cubs are dead. They've all been sniped. The Strela 10Ms, you get quite a lot of them in a card, 5 at 1 vet, so... You'll have plenty of those, plenty of Igloos as well, I think. But yeah, it's pretty funny watching this kill the KPVTs with its 50 cal. And that's the advantage of this guy, right? I mean, you know, if you had a Toad one, it wouldn't be able to do that. So, another bomber in. Oh, he's going for the cat. Oh, he gets it. That's a good one. It's probably going to die there. Yeah, that's only got 10% ECM. Sadly, they've got very similar names, but the 18 is the F-18, and the 16 is the trainer jet. It's like the F-5, basically. Obviously, the Americans say it's not a trainer jet while they try and sell you it. You see the power of this rocket plane is it doesn't really do too much, but it reloads super fast. And you can use it to bait out shots. It's just this... Actually, that wouldn't, but a Cub would one-shot it. It's only got 6 HP. Osa would one-shot it and so on. But yeah, good electric Voodoo play there. It's just weird because it goes slower than the other planes. So even though I'm pretty sure he is sending it out first, it's still arriving second. So you do have to be careful. And yeah, red just hasn't got any CVs in anywhere. That's probably going to get shot as well. He could. He knows this is free, so why not come in this way? Why do it this way? In fact, this can shoot both of them. What the heck's going on? He's only got one Acacia left. So, side shot. No, it missed. He's getting a lot of misses with high accuracy units. So now he can just go in because of the smoke. Yeah. And then this one isn't getting shot at because this has been shooting the other guy. And now I think he will... He misses the side shot. That loses loses whatever. This Toad 2 is probably not long for this world. This should smoke here because the TAB can survive a hit, and that cannot survive that hit. So Gotta take this out, and I'm really surprised Blue didn't buy a bunch of infantry for this when this got taken. Maybe he didn't notice. I notice now though, this in the zone. And yeah, what does Blue do here? He needs to sort this out. This is always a danger with these positions, that you get overextended, and when the enemy pushes you back, he can actually push you back all the way. And that's basically what's happened here. So perhaps a few too many units hit, but like what he could do is just swing all this in and just take this zone. Like there's nothing stopping him apart from his own imagination. Going for the Igla there. Yeah, it will kill like a 4 HP transport, I suppose, but like an 8 HP one I don't think he'll get. And then, yeah, you'd expect the planes to be taking all this out because it's way extended. So I got to evac that now. Because, yeah, but he's just flying around and waiting to get hit. It's a shame, really, because now it's going to increase his resupply time if he gets hit there. It's got 40% ECM, though, so it does a lot of dodging. And I guess what you could do with that is, you know, ping. Now you know the Igla's there, and then you can go kill it. But, nah, he's just forgotten to evac this. He's just going to keep flying around until it gets panic evac from all the Iglas. There you go, he's realised. Yeah, so... is that going to die? Yes. These guys are not the best place ever, really. You're going to get rear shot. Okay, that was a miss. Some misses today. Yeah, this needs to hide behind this building. The RT should be firing on these Igla positions. He knows they're there, but he just keeps forgetting to evac his planes. Right, so that's going to take a while. It would have been 2 minutes, but I think it's going to be about 3 to 4 now. The reserve guys, yeah, they're just getting RT'd. The ADATs, of course, are a great leveler in this map. I don't think this guy's going to make it. No! He makes it! So, yeah, like, why is he not trying to take this back? He's just using the planes, and, you know, it is working, it's just... You know, he has been pressured out the zone, so the enemy's on a +2 now. This ADATs could move up to here, or even here, it's nice. Okay, but yeah, Blue, he has actually managed to get back in this zone, so I guess it's paying off for him. This guy's probably going to get RT'd. He's sending, yeah, so he's not hiding behind the thing, so as soon as this sees him, the BMP-2s are going to kill him. Yeah, that's him dead. It's probably because he started shooting, actually. So yeah, you turn off cover, and he's not actually hidden. He's in the gap. Yeah, okay. Gotta be careful with that. Like, this is really low, but... Yeah, I think Blue, basically, when he was taking all this, he should have done more to secure this area here, I think. Would have been good, because the idea is, you know, if you let 79Y grind into you, I think you're just going to lose, because his tanks are better. They do cost more, so it'll take him a while. And so you want to use your mobility, right? And the fact that the enemy, you know, because you've got such good air, the enemy AA, particularly because he's killed all the Cubs, they're all Strela 10Ms, so they're not over here. So he could have taken all this and like pushed this and forced Red to buy a bunch of short-range AA for this, a bunch of tanks for this, and then that would help him in this attack. I really like these scrappy divisions. Like, Canada's probably my favourite South Active. It's a shame it's like a little bit too strong in my opinion. Some of its planes are a little bit too cheap, basically. I wouldn't do that, because it's just good. Like, basically, he's going to get shot. Also, you got to give it a move order, otherwise it will just stay there. Yeah, he's panicking, man. He's not evacing his planes and what have you. Oh, okay, that didn't just get immediately blown up. I mean, it did get shot through other means, but I thought if you didn't give it a move order, it would just get hit by the rocket on the ground, but it didn't actually happen there. So yeah, the Leopard C1s, as you can see, like, their fire rate's pretty good. And they're cheap, so you get a lot of them, so they're shooting a lot. And, yeah, the smoke, it's good smoke there, really, because, yeah, you've got this, so they can't shoot you from this side. You do want the reserve guy in front of the CV. Oh, no, you don't want to come out there. These are going to kill you. It's not ideal. He sees the CV. It's not the cluster one, though. It's the HE one. He's got 2 of them, so I guess that will do the job. No, it didn't, because that's not actually the same plane, that's another plane. And yeah, this is why I prefer the cluster one over the rocket one. Although, you know, the rocket one is doing good work this game. Just if he had the cluster one, that would have died in the first plane. No hanky-panky. F-18 cluster. Because, yeah, I figured this div's main shortcoming is the tanks. It struggles against heavy tanks. That guy was very, very close to getting rear shot there. And then he gets rear shot there. I mean, yeah, that's not ideal. He was given a chance, though. So he went on that Akatsiya, but yeah, if that was a cluster plane, he'd be dead. He did get the CV that was next to it, but... yeah. So, still even for blue. So he's managed to take this. And yeah, I just love playing the Canadian div. It's got a lot of... It's got a lot of mobility, and that's what I like. I've been playing 6E as well, but 6E kind of sucks. The tanks cost more than the Leopard 1s, and they're not actually that much faster. Like they're 5 kilometers an hour faster off-road than the T-80B. This is actually faster than the AMX wheeled tanks. Off-road. It's faster. So... that's the issue, and they have even less armor, so they can only ever take 1 hit from anything, and sometimes they just die. They've only got 4 armor. Cluster 2 come in here. It's got a really good spot to hit. 4 Leopard 1s grouped together there. The ADATs will be able to avenge potentially, but it won't be able to intercept this. The fighter isn't up. He does evac, and yeah, nice split from Gucci Gang. But he loses most of them, so yeah, you shouldn't be blobbing like that. And yeah, if you've got a fighter, it should always just be up. You just shift, click, 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 click. You just leave it up constantly. Whenever you can, it should be up because of that. Because he could have prevented that, basically. So, like I said, these are also kind of you know, ASFs. He should have evac this way instead of over all the enemy AA, and so he loses that. Didn't have to. The smoke continues. It's actually moved to here now. I suppose he's got a CV coming. It's just a shame Canada didn't push up all this, you know, but you can't be everywhere, right? And all this isn't really doing anything. Like, he could have just YOLO'd this into the zone at this point. There's nobody there because the tanks are all over here. So it's just that kind of thing, right? Because you'd send the links forwards first, and this wouldn't actually kill it, because this has the armor. And you'd get all the way up to here until this started shooting you, and you'd be like, oh, there's nobody here, just let's send this one forwards as well. You'd kill this, and that'd shoot you, so you'd know where that is. As you can see, these rocket planes are mainly just about drawing aggro. Enemy Su-25 rocket plane, a bit more substantial, but gets driven off by the F-18. And, yeah, Red getting the extra CV in here. He's only got 9 minutes though, but if he gets in here... oh, this building's been destroyed. It's actually a really big problem, but he does have smoke mortars, which he's refused to use all game, and on this map you really need to use them, because it's just big open spaces otherwise. You just smoke up here and put it in here, or what have you. Or you could even just get in here. But yeah, I think if Red actually wanted to take this, I think he could. There's basically nobody there. The main issue is this ADAS, right? And that can be dealt with smoke. The power of smoke. I wish people would smoke more. But not against me, because it's kind of hard to deal with. And this is ADAT's time, right? No recon with this, so it can't shoot back. And, yeah, the ADAT's getting a lot of value there. So the Akatsiya's probably... okay, it's going on these guys. But the ADAT should move now, so you move it to, like, here, basically, or here. You just don't want to get hit by the arty party. Tank hunters need to be behind the zone, behind the building. CV's coming in. More Leopard 1s. 8 minutes left, +1 for Red. I assume this is going on the CV. Oh, CV has to keep moving because, like, look, the TOW 2's hitting it. Like, the ADAT's... I don't know if he'd be able to get it from there. Look, yeah, so he sent the links forwards now. Yeah, he's realised, okay, I could actually attack here. There's nobody here. Everybody's in mid. That's the right attitude. So, it's probably not long for this world, but at this point, it's just about time. And you see that the T-80BV, like, look, it takes 1 damage every time these guys hit it. Whereas it 2-shots them. So this would be a 10-shot. The main issue, of course, is the cohesion and the crits and what have you, right? So his engine has now been damaged, but... yeah, the T-80BV, you'd expect to win that fight, really. This Razvedka, once it gets in this building, is going to kill this CV. Oh, he's on an attack move order, so he doesn't get in the building. Just sits outside it. And now there is no building. Funny bomber. Sadly misses all the AA. Although the AA misses him in return. You'll notice that this is on holding fire. It's because it does not have the damage to hurt these guys at max range. They have to come in one in from max range, at which point it does 1 damage. So at max range, it can't actually shoot. So, yeah, this is certainly Red's time to be alive, but he's getting side shot by these Ericses, man. There you go, that's what's supposed to happen. So, yeah, it's the lack of recon. He didn't bring the BRM 1Ks, and, yeah, he's paying the price. He's paying the price. Cluster 2 back out. He's going for the CV. He's probably going to get it. And, yeah, the power of the Erics. Just has to move 1 building to the right and he can go again. Or maybe, actually, this might be hidden. Cluster 2 gets taken out. So does not get the CV. Katsia not shooting. And then the Mott Rifles Erics. He gets a hit there. Actually only does 2 damage, I suppose, on the front armor. Interesting. No, that can't be right. It must have missed. It must have missed. Because a TOW 2 would do about half damage. It would do 4 damage to it. And this has more pen than a TOW 2, so it should do 5. It only did 2, so it must have been a miss. Or a near miss, which deals partial damage, right? Yeah, 5 minutes left. I mean, it looks like Blue's done it. I don't think Red can just get the points in time. I did like that Blue did eventually come in over here, and now he's sending the CV in. He's got the ADATs covering for him, right? He's got up to here, so you'll know if people are coming in. That's what you want to do, those kind of do. You want to hyper mob. It's weird that, like, you know, Red seems to be the one doing a lot of the mobbing. Generally, that's Blue's purview. Generally, that's Canada's purview over 79Y. 79Y just sort of wants to punch you in the face over and over and over again. You can mob with it, right? There are mob options, BRDM2 Conquers and what have you. Eric's goes down. CV here is probably going to go down. So that's a +1 for Red now. And I don't know if this is our rounds, right? So Blue, okay, he's sending. I guess this is the advantage with having the tank hunters in the helicopter. I'm going to be doing that from now on, actually. I think that's a good idea. But this close, I think these are just going to kill it. So should be behind the buildings, really. Okay, he's changed his mind. And yeah, some more Leopard ones. Clearly hasn't been spending his points. This guy should be hidden behind this building, but at this point I don't think it makes a big difference. So the Iltis is in. So what you want to do is move the links up to here. I just immediately surrendered when he saw that. It's fair enough, really. So yeah, good game. Good game. So this is Gucci Gang, rank 95 with a 70% win rate. And this is Skill, rank 791, because he's played 3 rank games. But he has an 85% win rate in multiplayer with 400 games. So I think this is somebody who's maybe reset this. That's a very, very high win rate in standard multiplayer. So here, I think he just played 79Y 3 times and he doesn't know any. The impression I got from this player is that he's a good player, but he doesn't know the new divisions. He just doesn't know what's in them. That's the impression I got. And that would explain this start and this start, because he probably used to play a long time ago. Got all these wins, right? So yeah, GG to Gucci Gang Hots. As you can see, you know, plays a bit more ranked, but a lower normal win rate, like a lower regular win rate, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, really good airplay from Red. Killed all the from the Red logo, who played on the blue team. Killed all the AA, and killed the fighters. And then it was basically just open season. So yeah, good play from Blue. And certainly you'd expect Red to win in the late game on that map because of the T80 BVs, but he just lost too many cubs. He lost all his cubs and then he just couldn't do anything. And he just seemed to refuse to smoke. No smoke. Where's the smoke? So yeah, GG. I hope you enjoyed that game. I'll see you in the next one. Do like the video and yeah, goodbye.